Since the peak in March, NIO has fallen around about 35% into the recent low, following the earnings report and a significant sell-off. So if you're holding NIO stock now, you obviously are wondering, is it going to fall further? Or if you're thinking about buying into NIO, is the right time to buy in now, considering it's fallen so heavily? So in this video, I'll try and answer those few questions and offer my commentary on the price chart, covering daily, weekly, and the long-term trend. So we can see there was a big sell-off following the earnings report week, when NIO dropped round about 16%, and then last week it's fallen a bit further. So the total dropped around about 20% post-earnings. So now could be a great time to pick up NIO stock, but it's not confirmed yet whether the price has stopped falling. And we know from recent price history, NIO is volatile and often is covered by short sellers. At the moment, it appears the price is falling into a significant support level of around about $3.50. So you can see the low here, which is $3.57, is just below the trough here back in August 24, which was $3.63, and also the trough here back in April 24, which was $3.61. So clearly there is some support around about this level here, $3.50. Now what we don't know is whether price is going to hold at this $3.57 level. If you look at the weekly chart and this green bar here, it does indicate that based on this being a reversal bar, that there is support here and buyers have come back in to take the price up. Now last week it peaked at $4 but actually closed back down at $3.80. So the bar is relatively strong, but buyers should be cautious. Since the price peak in September, around about $7.70, NIO has fallen. And as per my previous videos, you were able to draw a downtrend line across those three peaks. And we did have a price break back in February this year and also March. So price action did cross the trend line, suggesting that buyers were taking control. But since the earnings came out, there's been a significant sell-off. So there's just not any confidence with investors at the moment, and that's why the price has dropped down significantly back down to this $3.57 level. And if we zoom out on the weekly chart, we can once again apply this significant support level at around about $3.50. And also we can apply a longer term trend line with the weekly price data. So from around about the peak here in January 21, it's clear that NIO is in a steady decline. A price has attempted to cross the trend line on multiple occasions back in June 21, October 21, and so on. And most recently in July 23, around about $15. And then here again, we've got that 771 peak. So looking at this trend line, it's clear that NIO is trending downwards. However, more recently, the price and the trend has slowed down. And we've hit this support level of around $3.50 on multiple times. In April 24, August 24, and most recently last week in March 25. So it looks as if price is trying to find support at this level here and then make a move to the upside. I think long term, what we need to see is for price action to start to move up and break this long-term trend line. That would be the first indication that NIO is making a sustained move to the upside. And that could be a trigger for you to consider buying into NIO. Now, if we look at the monthly chart, we can look at the overall big picture. So let's mark up a few key price levels for reference. First of all, we've got the original listing price for NIO of around about $6. That was back in 2018. Then we've got the all-time low, which is down here at around about $1.20. Next is the all-time high, which is around about $67. And then the next one is going to be this peak here, which corresponds to around about $15.50. And then we got the most recent peak of $7.70. So these are some of the key price levels long term for NIO. And of course, one of the most important ones is the recent support level of 350. So let's mark that one there. So now looking at this monthly big picture chart, we can see NIO is currently trading inside this range between the 350 low and this price level here around about $6. It's tried to break out back in September, but hit resistance at 770, and the sellers came in and pushed it back down. So right now it's between these two levels here, and we can obviously draw a trend line on there to show the long-term trend. Let's mark that up in yellow. So now it's clearly obvious that NIO is in a downtrend, but it's looking to find support around about this 350 level. So if you're looking to buy into NIO, wait for price to cross this trend line to confirm it's moving to the upside. And if you were to buy into NIO, which price targets could you think about reaching? I think the first thing that needs to happen is price needs to cross the trend line. So it needs to come up from this support level, break the trend line, possibly come back to find support at $6 before pushing back up and taking off. And I think price taking out this peak here of 770 would be a strong indicator that NIO is finally moving up and has price momentum. So if you were to take a position with NIO, with price breaking 770, you may want to enter about here, 15% stop loss, and your first price target could be the $15 level. So this would give you a risk to reward ratio of 6.96, which is very, very healthy. So this could be a good short-term trade. Longer term, investors could expect price to creep back up and eventually reach this target level of $66, which corresponds to the peak back in January 21. Right now, the risk is towards the downside. NIO is still trending down. We cannot confirm yet if this 350 level is the low, is the turning point. So we have to wait for price to confirm that it is moving up. And the first thing that it needs to do is cross this trend line. That's your first indicator. So right now, be cautious. If you're still in NIO, maybe hold on to it. It's up to you. But if you're thinking about buying into NIO, probably wait for the next few weeks just to confirm where price is heading. Thanks for watching.